found love at 50.
At 50, yes. Yes. It's possible. I never thought, I'd reached that stage and I was thinking after 45, I don't think anybody. And like me, because of strong women like you, people look at us and they think, and men fear us. I know that.
Yeah.
So many men, because later so many men were saying, wow, how did you manage? I've been thinking I need to talk to her, but I wasn't too sure how to approach her. Coming to UK, I thought, I've been a head teacher for over 10 years. It's going to be easy. Lynn, I got a rude shock. There's no one for me, no jobs. The weather was so unfavorable because I came in November. No amount of layers would help me. Then the language barrier. I thought I knew
English.
Wait until you go to the classrooms and the kids are telling you you've got a funny accent. And that really brought my confidence down. I went to work in the care homes.
How do you feel about holding the title of Kenya's first mayor in London?
Having not had my early education here, I just came in the middle, and achieving that and being the first Kenyan, it is a good feeling, I wouldn't lie. When I get to my house, I leave my mayoral, my councillor titles by the door. I go in that house as bishop's wife, as a mother to my children. I know I've got titles, but I don't take those titles back home.
So trust the process. One day your life is gonna change. Keep on believing. You will be better than before. So trust the process.
A very good morning to you and welcome to today's episode of Inspire Global. Of course, my name is Lynn Ngugi, and guys, if there's anything London is teaching me, it's that this too is the land of opportunities. You come here, you put in the work, and you achieve the very best you can. The person I'm about to sit with, for me, it's her humbleness that got me. She welcomed us. When I came here, I saw something close to City Hall, what we have back home, but she'll be telling us extensively what this place is and how long she's worked here and how did she leave Kenya, why did she leave Kenya. And of course, to me, there's a very beautiful segment I wanted her to inspire us on growth, love, and believing that you too can be able to find love again. So I'll introduce her, but before I do that, guys, I just want to thank our incredible partners at Kings Developers Limited. Mi usemaje, si lazima people support your work, but these people, they've supported our work from the word go. They are the reason we are here, sitting here, ready to bring you inspirational content. And even Maya, maybe she'll tell us, have they been duped? And maybe what are some of the things Kenyans need to do so they stop being conned back home? They have affordable housing, and of course, you can check them out. These are their contact details, and I always say, kama kitu iende pahali, just send me an email. And of course, to thank our beautiful friend Lydia Tetolet for organizing these interviews and making sure that we continue inspiring you. And you know the mantra for Inspire Global, no matter what your hustle is, be proud of it. There is no shame in hard work. Sasa wacheni kaende, let me let this beautiful woman introduce herself so that she can be able to take us through her story. Ma'am, how are you?
I'm very well, Lilia.
You are well?
Oh, I'm very well, yes, thank you.
Nice to finally have a conversation with you.
I'm also happy to see you this afternoon.
Yes, you know it's 6. You've made time for
evening.
us. We are filming this 6 in the evening. After work. And you made time for us. So asante sana.
You are special people to me too.
Oh, thank you so much. But kabla tuendelee sana, tell them who you are, ma'am, and what you do.
Thank you. My name is Councillor Dr. Elizabeth BK or Kangeve. I'm a serving councillor in the London Borough of Barking and Dagenham for the last 14 years and the first Kenyan mayor. Currently, I am the cabinet member for education attainment and schools improvement. And I'm also married to a bishop. And I live in the London Borough of Barking and Dagenham where we are set right now.
Yeah. You know, you have this whole profile, but I gotta ask you a question. And this is something people also ask me a lot. Growing up, did you know you would be here?
Well, Lynn, some things do happen, and later on in life is when you start thinking, wow, I saw something. First of all, when I was born, my parents used to be in the Scandinavian countries, and actually my name Elizabeth, I was named after the lady who hosted them for so many years. So when I was born, I was left with my shushu, and then my parents went back to Denmark where they lived. And I used to, right as I was growing up, I used to think I would love to go, but it didn't go that far. So I didn't see this coming until later on in life. I'll be coming to that. Is when I started thinking, wow, I think I would also want to venture.
The purpose of this conversation is for you to help, just inspire a lot of people back home. Because I've seen two things will happen when you get here in London. You either make it or you break yourself.
That's right.
But then we are meeting people like you who have made it, and you are still humble while you are at it. So me, I want to sit back, but could you take us through your journey? It's good that you've mentioned a bit of growing up. I also know that you are a teacher back in Kenya. So maybe if you could just walk us through your journey for this 1 hour that we have, growing up, the kind of life you grew up in, coming here. Why did you come here? How did you come here? Ulipanda camel ukakuja mpaka London, and also how did you manage to accomplish all that you've accomplished?
Thank you so much, Lynn. My story is long, but I'm just going to take, bits and pieces of everything, and people can get that in my book, which I've already completed writing, my bio. Well, I was born in Githunguri in Kiambu, and I went to primary school in Kamboi, primary school, went to high school St. Anne's, which is within the same locality. And then upon completion, during my early years, I used to be that girl who is really chatty and, lots of leadership stuff in me. I used to be the Sunday school teacher, and I would teach girls and boys who are much older than me. Every time we go to church and the Sunday school teacher hasn't arrived, I would be that girl there doing things. So there was a lot of leadership in me that really was noticed. In primary school, I was a prefect, the bell ringer and all that. In high school, I was a captain. So there was quite a lot that what I was doing. Then upon completion, like I said, I'm going quickly, born in a family of 7. I'm right in the middle, 2 girls and a boy, 2 girls and a boy behind. So I was the darling in the family in the middle. When I finished high school, I really wanted to be a teacher. That's something that I think I got that from the Sunday school teaching. And during those years, 80s, they said they will not take any more teachers from Central Province because there were so many teachers. And I was desperate. So one of my dad's friends who worked for the Teacher Service Commission said, if your daughter is really desperate, she wants to be a teacher, the only way out is for her to go out in the rural areas. So at a very tender age, I went to Turkana. Lynn, and that's a story for another day. Traveled on the trucks, on the back of trucks, delivering maize, and it took me almost a week. My sister took me there. When we arrived in Rodwa, I was posted in Kakuma. Kakuma is the top end, and it was me. I'm just happy. I want to explore. My sister cried, and she was much older than me. She said, "You can't leave. We can't leave you here, brah." But I insisted. She stayed for a week and left me. And by the time she was leaving, she was still in tears. Anyway, I was there for 1 year, taught, and then lucky I was taken in college. I went to Machakos College for 2 years. So my hardening started when I was in Turkana. You can imagine those years. I was living in a mud hut, and at night they had to send some Turkana boys to sleep outside my hut so that I'm secure, But I loved it. I really enjoyed. Anyway, I trained as a teacher. And when I was still in teacher training, I was very much active with the Scouts. And through that, immediately I was posted, my first posting, I was selected as one of the youngest Girl Guide leader to go to Canada on an exchange program before I'd even taught. At a very tender age, 23, I went to Canada for 1 year on an exchange program with the Scouts and Girl Guides. Upon return to Kenya, I was posted in another posh school in Githunguri, which was upcoming. Parents wanted a good school. These parents who really used to take their kids to Nairobi, but they wanted a good school where they could do feeding, where the kids could wear soft shoes and all that. I was posted there. And after 1 year, my story goes, the grace of God. When I was still there, the head teacher then had seen something in me, and she used to tell me that, and even tell the committee members that this lady, I see her, I would like to start grooming her. And within 2 years, she passed on. And when she passed on, the committee came and said, Mrs. Kenyanju used to say that you can be a good leader. So I got into the system. I was never a deputy. I became a head teacher, where I headed the school for 9 years. Within that time, because of my activities with the Scouts and Girl Guides, I started traveling with kids. South Africa, we went to some place in Africa, and we came here in UK twice. It was during that time when I started thinking, wow, I think I want to come and work in schools here. And the second time I brought the kids, I went back. That was in the late 90s. I decided I'm going to resign and come over. So that's how I moved to UK through the Kenya Scouts and Girl Guides. But I came now as a teacher. Coming to UK, I thought, I've been a head teacher for over 10 years. It's going to be easy. Lynn, I got a rude shock. Culture shock. You see, the other times I used to come on a visit, now I want to settle. There's no one for me, no jobs. The weather was so unfavorable because I came in November. No amount of layers would help me. Then the language barrier. I thought I knew English. Wait until you go to the classrooms and the kids are telling you you've got a funny accent. And that really brought my confidence down. I went to work in the care homes for 1 year. And within that 1 year, I'm thinking, will I really swallow my pride and go back to Kenya? Do I want to stay? But by the grace of God, I met a lady who was really nice and told me she'd been to Kenya. She helped me to go back to teaching. I had to retrain, went back to uni to retrain so that I can really get the qualified teacher status. So I started teaching. While I was still there, some of the Kenyan parents used to think that I'm a link. I would help them write letters and all that kind of thing. And I met my current member of parliament, who also saw some leadership qualities in me, and she told me she would want to groom me to be a councillor. Joined the Labour Party, and then the next year, I put my name forward, and the rest is history. So I've been a councillor since 2010 in the same area. Long story short, and that's how it's been. I mean, the grace of God, I can say, because it's just been a roller coaster of event after event after event.
I want to take you back a little, because you've mentioned something important. The culture shock.
Yes.
You have now to even go and start working at care homes, and then you are weighing, do I need to go back home? Will my pride, my ego let me go back home? And a lot of times I've seen that many people are confused at that particular moment. You don't know what to do, because at one moment you can't even tell people back at home you're working at care homes. The other, they are expecting so much from you. She's in London, she's gonna send us money back home. How are you able to maneuver, and were you honest even with your relatives back home with what you were doing before you got the whole teaching back?
First of all, when people move out here, depending on how you've come and what you're doing, no one actually can say that they settle well
instantly.
There's definitely, like I said, the culture shock, there's the language barrier. We do speak very good English, but because like the area where we are, they have the Cockney, which is not really the Queen's English. And then, the food, definitely, we are not used to frozen food all the time. It's only juicy where we started getting unga and all the other bits. When we came, it just used to be frozen stuff, everything. So all these things, Lynn, make you wonder, what am I doing here? So what I would say is that make sure that you've got some support network, which actually there's a lady from Kenya who I used to be my parent in Githunguri. She's the one who actually now called me, sat me down. Actually, she even helped me to work in that care home. And while in that care home, she was telling me, no, head mistress, my head teacher, you cannot be doing this. She encouraged me because I had kind of almost lost my confidence, and this happens to so many people. Unless you got that support network to guide you, you really lose it. And some people end up going back. Some people end up living on that low profile. They don't want to rise up again. I almost did the same, because I felt I'm complacent there. This is where nobody can see me.
Yes.
This is where nobody can ever ask me any questions. I was very honest with my parents back home.
Yeah.
And actually, I used to tell my late mom, when she continued resting in peace,
Amen.
that I just want to come back home. I had left my son, who was 8 years old by then, with my sister. I want to make sure that he gets good education. He was in a good school, Marion Preparatory School. I want to show off that I can manage to continue paying for him. I want to send them goodies here and there.
Yeah.
I want to show my parents I'm earning. But deep inside me, I was struggling. Because, there are bills to pay. You want to live well. When I came, I also wanted to continue driving,
Okay.
though that wasn't a big issue.
Yeah.
But the thing I would say is that when you come, try and don't set the bar too high. Try and live according to your means. But most of us we want to show off. We want everybody to know we are in Maju. We are living a better life. But I think this is where we should just build things slowly. And I failed there. And that is why I was kind of almost getting so frustrated, wanted to go back.
Wow.
But because of that support network, which I got later,
Yes.
I managed to settle.
You managed to settle.
Uh-huh.
I love hearing that. But a title people can't take away from you. Even right now, we bumped into one of the leaders here, a very amazing person that that's
the
Darren,
leader of the council.
The leader of the council. And you could tell he has so much love for you. And I remember there's a title that no one misses out when they're talking about you. First Kenyan mayor in London. Well, first, what's the difference between a mayor and a council? And are you both, or were you a mayor and now you are council?
Right. To be a mayor, you got to be a serving councillor.
Yes.
And what happens is that from amongst the serving councillors, that's where we vote for the mayor.
Yeah.
So I happen to be the first and the only Kenyan to be the mayor.
Congratulations.
And it was a big event where we
Yeah.
had people coming from far and wide, and Kenyans gave me a beautiful, beautiful reception. And the mayor making day, where I even had my parents come over, my brothers and family, Kenyans from far and wide.
Yeah.
So it was in 2015. But after that, you can still get your name back, to be voted, or you can continue being a councillor. But don't forget, again, even as a councillor, you still need to go back. This is my 4th term. Wow. And there is the campaigning that goes with it. It's not automatically.
You are voted in.
Yes, and for the first time for me to be voted in as a councillor, it was a real struggle. First of all, we don't have an open forum like the open air campaigns. It's door to door. You knock every single door.
You don't do like
yourself.
open air campaign the way we do in Kenya with the lorries and the cars and the speakers. You
are given your area and you are told these are the roads. You just knock on every door. You have leaflets. You need to introduce yourself. They will ask you questions. You get some people will just bang the doors behind you. They'll call you all sorts of names, the F word. And the one good thing I like about these people, they're honest. If they're not voting for you, they'll tell you, I'm sorry, I don't support your party, in a nice way. And you tell them, thank you, and you walk away.
Yeah.
There are those who will tell you, I'm not decided. I'll think about that. There are others who will tell you, I support you, I'll support your party. So, but it's quite tedious. You can imagine my ward, my current ward, we've got over 10,000 voters, and you should try and at least meet every single resident, knocking on doors, leafleting. I thank God for my Kenyan friends in the UK. Honest to God, Lynn, I would not have made it. My first campaign, I used to have Kenyans come from far outside London, Milton Keynes, Nottingham. They would come on a Saturday, tell us where you want us to leaflet. They really, really supported me, and I'm ever so grateful. People say Kenyans hawapendani, but that when we come a time of need, Kenyans are the best. The support, they rally all the support behind you. So I got all the support, and I became the councillor, and now that time the mayor, and put my name again and again. And currently I'm a cabinet member. I look after all the schools in the borough, which I've got 60 schools, which really I'm answerable. I do visit the schools. I do have head teachers conferences. We do meet with officers. It's quite demanding, but I love it, particularly my current portfolio, because That's me. Teaching and education is me. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. Okay, we are cruising nicely. But you also mentioned there are those people who will look at you and they'll throw in what's that, like very bad words, F words, or look at you and wonder what's this black person. To you, how would you classify racism in London? Is it real? Is it not? And also you've also mentioned something, watu husema wa Kenya huku hawapendani. Where do you think that comes from?
Well, going back first of all to the racism,
Yeah.
the time I got in 2010, it used to be open. And my particular ward where I represent up to this day, we had a certain party which is well known. It's not a secret. And that party was anti any immigrants, anti any black people. They never, even today, they never want to hear that any, not just even being in leadership, settling in here. And by the grace of God, I smashed them. I managed. So all you need to just have your focus. Don't argue. Don't start arguing with them. If they say all those horrible, rude words, swearing at you, just say thank you and walk away. And I found that so satisfying to me.
Yes.
I don't have to. I also have words that I could draw out. But what for? I mean, I don't want to lower myself to that level.
Yeah.
So we've been told by our colleagues here, when they say all those words, just say thank you and walk away. And that has really helped. The other question you asked is about Kenyans. People think Wakenya hawapendani. We do. It's only that we do not have as many events that bring us together as such. Nyumbani huwa watu on Saturdays, you find people in Kamakis, people in Kempix and all the other places. But here it's a matter of the shifts, there's too much in work and all that. So other than church, we don't have events that bring us together. But if there is anything, for example, a bereavement, a wedding, I'll come to that. My wedding was one of the biggest, over 1,000 guests.
Yeah.
And yes, and Kenyans turn up in large numbers. They'll support you.
Wow.
Yes, they love each other. We do when it comes to that time of need, whether it is bereavement, whether it is celebrations, we do get together. Yes, so that one of our pendani, no. I can truly say, for the time that I've been here, I've seen the true spirit of togetherness. Yes. And people, even other cultures, they do say that, hey, you Kenyans, when I lost my mom 8 years ago, the number of people who used to come to my house and my colleague counselors who are from other cultures, they turn up with all due respect. They give you a tenner or £5 and they look at the book. They're finding that Kenyans are giving hundreds, 1,000, 500. I could see them looking and wondering. And the support that they give you, even when I had my mayor making, nothing has beaten that. Yes. They wondered, we had people, Lydia. Yes. I love her. She brought her dancers, all dressed in Kenyan, drums and all that. Yeah. So the vibe, they know wherever there are Kenyans, the vibes will be up high. So that one I refuse. Kenyans, we love each other. Yes. Even Kenya, away from Kenya, we still love each other. Good. Yeah. Yes, the spirit of Harambee is still with us. Still there, yes. It's still with us. Yes. Yes. How do you feel about holding the title of Kenya's first mayor in London? How does that make you feel? It's good. It's a good feeling, yes. Yeah. It is a good feeling, and I thank God it is an achievement, yes. Because having not been born here and having not had my early education here, I just came in the middle, and achieving that and being the first Kenyan, it is a good feeling, I wouldn't lie. Yes. Definitely. Again, it gave me an experience of going to so many countries. Yeah. It gave me an experience of meeting so many royals, so many senior people. I met Her Majesty, the late Her Majesty Queen, twice. I went to Buckingham Palace twice. She came over. I met most of the royals, and because as a mayor, you are the first citizen. So if anything is happening in that particular borough, which is like constituency, you are the representative of the king. Now the king, then it used to be the queen. Yeah. So you have that hierarchy. You are the first citizen. So I felt proud. Any event in the country or outside, if Barking and Dagenham was invited, I was the rep.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel good.
Yes.
I also traveled to my country, my country of birth, Kenya, twice.
Yeah.
And hosted in the town hall and so many other places.
Yes.
And it felt good, you know. It's good. Yeah, it's a good achievement. I cannot lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, wearing the big chains and, you know, it's good. And the robes.
Yeah. It's a good feeling.
It is, yes.
Some sense of accomplishment.
It is,
Yes.
yeah.
All
That's
right.
one thing that I put a tick
Tick
and I
on.
said, yeah,
Okay.
why not?
Yeah. Let's talk about love.
Are you sure you want?
Let's talk about love. When I met Mom, she was like, what story do I have for Lynn? Because Lynn, I don't want to cry. I don't have woye. I don't have. But I told you, you have a very beautiful love story. And this might look like a combination of Inspire Global and Lynn Ngugi Show, but you have a very good love story. And I'm so privileged to have met your husband at Kenyan Friends in the Park event. But what I did not know was that this was your another chance on love. You took a chance again. So maybe if you walk us through your love life.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to know that?
We got time, Mom.
How much more time do
We
you
have
for that?
time. We have time.
Okay. I did say I have a son.
Yeah.
Never married in life. There are those of, okay, I was in love and, you know, and he's not a mystic. I love my son to bits. I love him so much. But we never got on with the dad. That was in Kenya. So moved over to UK, and all I wanted is to make sure that my son gets the best of education.
Yeah.
I didn't want to engage myself in, you know, anybody, because I had that focus on him. And being a young man, I didn't want to expose him to Kamau there, John there, and all that. So, again, I brought him up. I've been brought up in a Christian family. I didn't say that. My mom and dad were Christian. My dad is still there. He's been 90 by the grace of God. Still driving, still strong. I love him. Yes.
Wow.
I'll be there celebrating his 90th. And so brought up in a Christian family. So I wanted the same values for my son. So we used to, me and him we never missed church, me and him, and, you know, bringing him up and all that. So he's a big boy now, he's 30. And I didn't tell you how he came over. After some time, after 1-2 years, I brought him over, you know, and he started school at the age of 8. I love the boy to beat his Ken. So that was me and him. I met the love of my life. He's Archbishop Dr. BK Nkere in 2016. It was, you make me brush.
No, it's all right.
He lost his dear wife. Here they had come to he's a bishop and the wife was a reverend. They had come to see their children, our children who live here. And she was unwell. Unfortunately, she didn't make it. And I had never met them at all. They used to come over so many times. I could see the flyers. The son, who is also a pastor, used to invite me as their counselor, but there were so many things that I was doing and I never managed to meet with them. So this particular time, I went to the place where they were having the Mashakaya just to comfort them. And I met Bishop, but there was nothing. I just met them and, you know, just, and then I left them comforted and I left them. After that, they went back to Kenya, buried the late Mom, Reverend Mercy. May she continue resting in peace. Then he came back. When he came back, they visited me. I was the mayor. They visited me in the parlor with the son, just visiting. And I think there was some connections which, and that's how it all started. It all started. Somebody who is lonely, somebody who needs people to comfort him, people to take care of him and all that. But by then, we didn't know there was a love circle. That was something that was happening.
Okay.
Then the next thing, in a prayer line, you know, we happened to be somewhere with some people and, you know, we were giving our prayer requests. And most of the ladies said they would like to settle. I was one of them. And then he calls me later and says, you are looking, I'm also looking, what should you do?
Oh, okay.
Then the rest is history.
Really?
Then, so we had, we were kind of now together,
Yes.
courtship for 2 years.
Yeah.
And in 2018, July, or 2017, December, he sent his relatives to my dad's place in Githunguri
Yeah.
to say he wants to marry me.
Yes.
And we had a beautiful engagement where he invited me for a dinner, not telling me what was happening, only to go and find the whole family there waiting for me.
His
with the
family?
ring. Yes, here in UK.
Oh.
So I got the engagement. And 2018, 21st of July, 5 years now, we had our anniversary last Friday.
Yeah.
We had one of the biggest wedding with over 1,000 guests.
Wow.
And we preach with him. He's got churches in Kenya and here in UK, powerhouse churches.
Yes.
And that is another line that I do, that we minister with him.
You're in
I support
ministry.
him, and I'm really happy
Yeah.
to have met him and the family. They are such a lovely family, and we get on well with everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's okay, Mom. We can take a commercial break. We can take a commercial break. But
You made me go.
Yes.
I've never gone through that with anybody.
we go there in this platform. We go there.
So
So
the thing is, I can encourage ladies to tell them, there is hope.
hatujafika hapo kwa kuencourage. Hatujafika hapo kwa kuencourage.
Not to give up. Not to give
up. I have questions.
You have questions?
I have questions.
Bring them on.
I have questions.
Bring them.
Right?
Let me have water.
Yes, please.
Bring them
Me
on. Sorry.
too.
Bring those questions. Bring those questions, Lynn.
I'm gonna ask. This is for me, and, like
Ask.
for the ladies that are watching, the moms and everything. Well, how, if you are open about age, but how old were you when he asked you out?
When he asked me,
Yes.
I was in my late 40s.
Yes.
Yes.
How
Because
old were
now
you
I'm
when
in
you
the
got
50s.
married?
In my early 50s.
In your early 50s,
Yes,
you got married in your early
yes,
50s.
because right now I'm mid 50 now.
You are mid 50.
Yes.
Also, you found love at 50.
At 50, yes, yes. It's possible. I never thought, I'd reached that stage and I was thinking after 45, I don't think anybody. And like me, because of, ladies, especially those who, strong women like you, people look at us and they think, and men fear us. I know that.
Yeah.
So many men, because later so many men were saying, wow, how did you manage? I've been thinking I need to talk to her, but I wasn't too sure how to approach her. We kind of, I don't know what one could do. We also need love, but people don't understand. We are strong in that area, but we also need someone to support us,
Yes.
and to support also. So at 50, yes, and I'm happy, very happily married, and I found love again.
But what was it about him that made you rethink your options? Like, what was it about him that made you say, like,
to be honest, I went and looked at some of the photos of him and the late wife and the kids, and I found someone and I watched some programs he was doing on TV in Kenya, family life and all that, and I thought, what, this is the kind of person I would want. One thing, a mature person who can understand me, and whom I can understand. That's what drove me to him, and he was tall, dark, handsome.
There you go.
Masai.
I saw him. I can attest.
Anyway, so that's it. And what I think and what I found is that with love life, it's not really, once you've been ordained to be together, there's something that really gels you, brings you together. You don't see anything else. You just see that person.
Yes.
And that is exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
Because even in the course of my job and going out, I'd met so many people, including white people and all that. And people obviously would approach you and ask you, if you're not married, can I, And I never saw it. I never saw anything. I never felt anything, But for him, after, it wasn't that particular day when I met them and I was, consoling them. There was nothing, because obviously this is somebody who has been bereaved, someone who looked, beaten and all that. Yeah. But after that, when they came over, when we started meeting, I think that's when something started developing and we started talking now freely. Yeah, but there's that connection that is God ordained. Yeah. which you can't help.
Yeah.
If it's there, it's there. You know, and if that's your person, there is a way of really the two of you gelling, and
Yes.
you know, you will know it.
Yeah.
You will know
You
it.
will
Yeah.
know, you will feel it.
So you can still go back to love life even in your late
Yeah.
ages. You can, and feel loved and love and make it.
Na hakuna limit.
Hakuna
limit ya when you should.
No,
Uh-huh.
no, 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 no,
Look
no,
at
no,
you,
no,
I'm
no.
smelling
I
your
am
knowledge.
happily married.
Happy.
Yes.
What
We
is
go
it?
places. We go places.
Yeah.
He loves holidaying. He loves going places. You know, weekends away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes just drive in many places and go and be away from home for a weekend. He loves that.
He loves
and
that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are the kids? Because
They're
I know
my
you're in
best friends.
Yeah.
They're my best friends. They don't even call him when they need to talk. We've got kids in Kenya and here.
Yes.
They don't call him when they need anything. I thank God that we've really gelled so well. I thank God, you know. And actually, even like now, when we were on the 1st of August, the other day, we were celebrating the late mom's anniversary. I'm the one who organized that for prayers and everybody, you know, I remind them. And when we traveled to Kenya together, I always remind him, we buy flowers, we go and lay. Yeah, so we get on well with them, and I thank God, you know. Yeah,
That's
I
beautiful.
find them as my own kids. You know, I take them as my own, and none of them ever calls me idiot. They all call me mom, and you know, I'm happy.
You're happy.
Yeah, yeah.
And Ken, is he receptive?
Oh yes,
to...
he's also very, very happy. He
Yes.
found his god brothers and sisters now. Yeah,
Yeah. And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
thank
yeah.
you for letting us in. How was the wedding?
Beautiful. You should have been here. The wedding was really beautiful, really beautiful, and you know, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a testimony. So because I feel like sometimes for single parents, because you want to give your kids the best, you also now forget
yourself, and that was my life. You forget yourself, and I would say tell people, however much, yes, you give your kids the attention they need, because as a single parent you have to act for both, which I did. I didn't neglect him at all. There's nothing he can say he lacked, but I kind of almost had lost myself, which is, it's very, very important that you have to think of yourself. There'll come a time when it will just be you, your child, whether it's a daughter or a son, they will have their own life, and you will have your life, which you really need to think about. It's very, very important. So that as you come to that age, when you are aging, you have someone by your side, like I have now. I'm really happy. Very, very happy indeed. Yeah, yeah. Yes, he supports me. When I go home, I find him. He finds me there, you know. We do church together. We also run programs. He's a family coach. We do programs together. We have a show called Beacon of Hope, where he talks to families, you know, singles, married, bringing up children. He's an author. He's written several books about families. So we really complement each other so well. So well. Yeah.
Congratulations on finding
Thank
love
you.
again.
Thank you.
Yes, and also pass my regard to your family.
I will.
Because
With God, all things are possible.
Yes,
I
and
know that.
we are all deserving of this glow that you have, this beautiful smile.
Yes, it's got to remain.
Yeah, you know. But before we wind up, talk to me about UK, because there is a conversation I've been having. I see the structures here are in place. I see everything here is in order. People pay a lot of tax, but they don't complain much about it, because you can see where your tax is going. However, the conversation back home is, as much as you want to pay this tax, it's very hard to know where the tax is going, right? So for you, why leave Kenya for UK? And because you also sit in these positions, what do you think in Kenya we can do better?
One, let me first handle that case of taxes. We do pay very heavily. We do pay our taxes. However, for example, there is a council tax we pay for our properties. But every month you get a breakdown of how your money is being used, whether it is being used to support the elderly, whether it is the infrastructure. You hardly see potholes because that money is being used for that. You see our rubbish is collected frequently, weekly, and that is how our money is used. Maintenance, you know, of properties, roads, you know, water, all these things, you get them. You cannot complain. And if there's anything that is not happening, you phone call or they write to us and everything is handled. So it does not pain us that much when we pay. The problem with paying taxes is when you pay and you do not see where that money is going. I do not want to say so much about Kenya because I've not lived there since, for a long time now, almost 30 years.
Yes.
But I think the leaders also need to learn from what the developed countries have done, and then people can understand. I know, however, it's not easy to introduce something that has not been there before. New things always are not readily acceptable, so I know it's not that easy for Kenyans really to accept that. And again, it depends on how it's introduced is very, very important, and the civic education into that, so that people can understand this is how your money will be used. Now, us, we cannot complain because we can see how that money is being used and we are beneficiaries. So if you don't pay your taxes, roads, you have potholes, you will not have old people's homes were maintained, our houses, there's a lot clean streets. They're not that clean, definitely, but
they are
you
clean.
Don't see that
to me
much.
They are very clean, compared.
That is what our taxes will be used for. And so we really appreciate that. We can see the use for that. And I think that is where our Kenyan system needs also to check, such that there'll be no complaints if I see that I paid my 5 shillings or my 5 or 20 shillings and I can see this was used for this purpose. So if there is an increase, people will understand. Now we need to increase our services, and that is why we are increasing the council tax. This is why we are increasing our taxes. But if you just tell people to pay taxes and they do not see where that money is going, I'll rebel. I'm not gonna pay. No, because I need to see where is it going.
And I know because this show will also be watched by a lot of people here in diaspora. One of the campaigns that I'm involved in right now is a campaign with Kings Developers Limited. It's an ISO certified company. They have very beautiful homes. They are behind Prism Towers and other major buildings, and they have affordable housing depending on where you are. Affordable hapa ama uko juu. You can get any complaint I hear mainly on email is how someone wanted to invest back home, get an apartment or a building, and they were conned in between. Where are we right now in matters diaspora, and what do people create awareness around these things? And to someone who is watching and they're in UK and they can't travel back home to go to King's Developers and say there's a house, I need to see it right now, what advice from where you are sitting from would you give people who want to advertise back home?
First of all, Lynn, I'll be very honest with you. Diaspora has been misused so much, and so people now are very, very extra careful before they engage in any of the real estate people, any developers coming over, because it's not just UK but any diasporians. They have really been misused. First of all, even by relatives. You send money to relatives and they don't do anything. You send money to friends. You send money to those people who call themselves the realtors, and But I think now people are more clever. They are doing their due diligence before you engage. Before you engage your money. People now know that they need to do their due diligence. And of late I've seen real trusted developers who are genuine. And the other thing that one can do is get one trusted person who travels back home, who can go and check for you. Get somebody who is trusted back home who can do that for you. But see, at the same time, currently, the people we are getting are really genuine. I've not had people who have been twisted. I think we are really getting people who are genuine, who understand that. And so many doors have opened such that people are traveling back home now.
That's good.
So you cannot really lie to people that you've got this development somewhere. But also it's very, very good for one to do their own due diligence before whether it's land, whether it's properties, whatever it is, one needs to do that due diligence because things have happened. We've lost money. I've been a victim.
Really?
Yes, I lost money. I'm not gonna name names.
But
what
were you investing
we engaged ourselves in a circle somewhere. And we were being told that we invest and our money will be used and then we'll be getting it back by a very senior person
Yes.
who was trying to get into. We lost. And I had gone home and that person had used me as a mayor to advertise. I really felt cheated. We lost over millions, and up to this minute, that money has not been recovered. I know we'll be able now to get together and get that, but the current people who are coming to the diaspora are real genuine people, and I've seen people happy with their investments. People have bought properties now. People have bought land, and they're happy. So I really want to thank the current clique, the current lot that is coming to us. Because they know obviously now we do travel. Or we are better enlightened now, unlike those days. Okay,
that's beautiful. But now, again, you mentioned you still wanted to drive around. Are you a fan of cars?
I do. Here, but not there. Lynn, I tried driving in Kenya, in Nairobi. I was screaming.
Why?
Last year. Don't go. Please, with all due respect, I don't use matatus.
Matatus need you.
Scared.
Bullied.
I was driving. I thought I'm a competent driver. I was driving from Westlands. I wanted to go to Kiambu. First of all, I lost direction getting to Muthaiga there. I lost that exit, so I found myself going to Ruiru.
Yes.
And on the way, I'm trying to be nice, stopping on the lights, and then I get people banging and what are you waiting for? Why won't you hakuna gari nenda? Those kind of things. Here, you've seen that, the courtesy.
Yes.
Even if you are alone, as long as the lights say
stop.
no, you have to stop.
You have to stop.
There's a bit of courtesy. Ingawa tumeleta Ukenya kidogo.
Yeah.
There's that courtesy when you're driving. I love it, but not distance driving.
No, you refuse.
I do go.
Yes.
I do drive, like even to places like Cardiff where we have our family.
Yeah.
Which is about 5 hours drive.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan?
No.
Yeah.
Again, because of the mayoral time when I had the chauffeur and I'm sitting back left.
Yes.
It makes you lazy.
It makes you lazy.
Driven. It makes you so lazy. You're always thinking
soft life.
Yeah, working while you're still
on the move.
Driven.
Okay. All right.
That's my life. That's what I love.
That's what you love.
Again, here, moving is very easy. You can get on a train, get your laptop, you're working.
Easy. You don't even need a car.
No.
Yeah, it's so efficient. You want
it is
for
one
us
step
back
for
home.
another.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that really makes one, you still have a car, for example, maybe to go shopping, to go to church and all that. But other places, like even sometimes coming to work.
Yeah.
You find even us, we get on a bus, on a train and
you come.
Yeah.
And no one will be looking at you. She's a mayor.
No. You find the MP with you on the bus, on the train.
Yeah, pamoja.
No one is bothered.
That's nice. Yeah, but looking back, would you want to go back to Kenya and just come and settle there and live there?
Eventually, yes, home is best.
Yes.
East-West home is best. I had a few people trying to tell me to come and do some leadership.
Yes.
But I don't think I can manage looking at how things do. I can support people. I can do some work. Even I can work for the government just to support people, guiding and all that, policies, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would want to campaign and be an elected person because of the way, the ethical way that campaigns are done here. I think I would struggle. My dad used to work with the Electoral Commission then, and I was a returning officer, and I've been a presiding officer in Kenya, so I know the system, and I know how it works, and I've also been, when I was the mayor, I had to be the returning officer here, give the results, so I don't know, I don't think I would be comfortable, but eventually I'll come back and settle home. East-West home is best. I don't want to go to the old people's home here. Aging at home, I think, it's very good because you have that community, that peaceful family setting. Yeah, it is. Peaceful. So
what legacy are you looking forward to leaving behind? Or how do you want people to remember you?
First of all, I did start here. I forgot to tell you that during my mayoral year, I started the young mayors. We never had young mayors. Wow. I introduced that, and every year now we do get a young mayor. And this year, the young mayor is a Kenyan.
Wow.
Kenyan born, but here we should get her.
Yes.
And I love working with the young people. Very, very much so. I do support some schools back home.
Yes.
We do have a program which is after my mom, which we really want to continue growing. And now that I'm married, my husband's side, we have a legacy for the late wife.
Yes.
It's called Reverend Mercy. And we do give support to people, needy people. So there's a lot that we do. But personally, I would like to be remembered for supporting young people.
Wow.
I don't want young people to go through the kind of life that we went. I would like a better life for them, and particularly in the diaspora. Young people, especially the black boys, have been known for violence, stabbing, shooting, and all that. We try to change. We try to talk to them. We do have forums where we talk to the young people a lot, and I get on well with them. There's something about me, and particularly the young boys. So,
yeah. You have a heart for the young people.
I do. I would like a better future for them. And I don't want that name of black boys. No. It is wrong. Yeah, because it's there. People will say, anywhere there is violence, they will say, there must be black boys. No, that should end. No. No one should be branded or somebody saying it happened because we had black boys from single parents. That kind of thing is there. And I wouldn't want that to continue. So we really want to have a legacy where we have supported young black boys to achieve and to be who God intended them to be. Yes. We also have a thing about family.
Yes.
There's a lot of marriage breakages, and we do work with my husband Bishop so much, talking to families, talking to young couples, trying to guide them into making it in life despite the challenges in life.
Yeah. And it's good that you've led me to a question I'm asking married couples a lot. From where you're sitting, how does submission look like for you to your husband? What submission to you? Because you see, you are me, you are, and they say this independent women wakona kichwa ngumu, sijui nini, they can't be humble at home. But how define submission to your husband?
Lynn, in the first place, when I get to my house, I leave my mayoral, my councillor titles by the door. I go in that house as Bishop's wife, as a mother to my children. And that's one of the submissions, that I don't go with that kichwa ngumu. And when Bishop comes to my meetings, at times he would want to come and sit up in the gallery to see me chairing. That time he's humble, he's right there, and he allows me to shine in my line of duty. But when I go back home, I have to be that mother who is cooking. I have to be that wife who is preparing meals and all that. And I do that. Here we don't have house helps. I do that. So when it comes to submission, is that idea of, I know I've got titles, but I don't take those titles back home. I have to really respect him as the head of the house. He is the head, and he deserves that. It does not matter whether I'm earning more than him. It does not matter whether I've got those big titles and whatever. When I'm there, I'm his wife. And I really have to show it to him. I have to show him that, yes, I am, Sio ile ya nifike nyumbani na wekelea miguu na I tell him to make the tea. I get home and I have to make sure that, darling, would you want a cup of tea? What can I do for you? Yes, I have to. It's part of the submission.
Yes. What does leadership look like from his end? Do you feel like he leads you well?
He does. He does. He's also a mentor, by the way. He's really my mentor, because anything that I'm doing, he knows it. He guides me. He tells me this. One thing, he's obviously older than me, and he's been in leadership. He worked with the police in Kenya, and so he guides me. He directs me when and he tells me where he thinks this is not the way to do it. So I submit. I'm there. We work together.
And there's no weakness in submission.
There's no weakness. It's not a weakness, by the way, Lynn. And you'll be shocked that when we are here in our meetings with him, whenever he accompanies me, because there are places where I'll be invited and I'm allowed to bring
a plus one.
Yes, plus one. I'll take him. He's not bothered when he sees me getting all these hugs from all these people. And I do introduce him to them.
Yes.
But he will sit back and watch us, doing what we have to do. And he's quite comfortable with that. I'm a current vice president of the London Mayors Association. the vice president of London Mayors Association. We go out with him on those meetings because we do have so many, parties and events. He has no problem with that. Me going to chair meetings, me sitting up there where he sits with the other people there.
He's good.
He's comfortable. He's good with that.
And that's a beautiful story.
If we go to church events where it's the archbishop or bishop doing things, I honor him for that.
Yes.
We give him that seat.
And you support him.
Yes, I support him.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor.
Welcome.
You've been so. I think people need to sit first with you and have a conversation so that they can truly understand you. But you are such you just have so much lightness in you. And for me, knowing from a tender age, you knew what you wanted and you went for it.
Yes.
There's no mistake why you are sitting on that chair. You deserve it.
Thank you.
And you've earned it.
Thank you.
And you've earned it. However, before I wind up, is there anything you really needed to touch on that you think I've left out that you can briefly talk about?
I think, Lynn, we've covered almost everything that we have had bits and pieces of everything that needs to be done. The only thing I would want to tell people was fikirie maju is all that it is bread and honey and butter and no.
Mom, you've been here for that
life. It's life. It's not easy. If you are a lazy person, you cannot make it here. And that is why some people have not made it, because people think there is money everywhere. Yes, the pay is good. It depends on what you are doing. But if you want to really make it, you also need to educate yourself. When I came here, I had my first degree. I got my second degree. I did my master's a few years ago in international law and legal practice. So you also need to keep that personal development is very, very important. You cannot just sit there and think things you come and find you. Because, for example, now the reason why I did international law and legal practice is because I also wanted, this is part of the leadership that I have as a local, as a politician. You need to know the law. You need to know where you are coming from. You need to know where you are going. So that's one thing I would like to tell our people. When you come here, the opportunities are there, but you also have your part to play. Don't just sit there. Try and educate yourself, elevate yourself, move yourself from that where you are. Move out from that cocoon of, let people know that you can make it, you can do it, you can be somebody. Even if it is there are so many courses that one can take, and you move from being that same person, being in the same place, expecting the same results. You got to really keep moving.
Keep moving. Keep striving.
That's it.
Keep striving. Can I ask you a simple question?
Go ahead.
You've been here for 30 years. Almost 30.
Almost.
What is the the ba'a? How is the ba'a?
That Kikuyu accent in me can never. Listen, that Kikuyu accent in me I can never. That's me. Why would I? I know I've seen some of us who are my age and they are trying to twang, and what for? And the thing is, you can tell when you're not original, when you're not yourself. I tell you, for example, my son, who came here when he was very young. If I'm talking, my son speaks Kikuyu fluent, Kiswahili fluent. But if he's there with his friends, I cannot understand what they're saying.
No.
Sometimes I have to, what was that?
What?
What? But for me, why honestly, why would I want to copy that? Why would I want to change anything? As long as I've been a teacher for so many years here in this country, and nobody has ever complained, because that's me. I really want to stress the Queen's language, where Kenyans, we are very good at that. But our people come over here, they think they want to copy. Copy what? Don't be a copycat. Be yourself. Be original.
Period.
So that not me. No, you're not going to get that from me. No. Way. Simply say water. How can I say that? I have to teach the proper.
Water.
Yes, that's the thing.
Yes.
Butter. Give me the butter.
Butter. What's
butter?
So
my English Kikuyu is still there. I cannot help, please.
Yes.
My ero ara is still there. My ero ara
is still there.
I have to be me.
Yes, and we will wind up
absolutely.
now.
Thank Thank you so much, Lynn, for having me.
No, you've been amazing.
I appreciate it.
No, I should be the one saying thank you. We came in, you welcomed us with some juice, some nice cakes that you had. You waited for us. We met one of your leaders here, an amazing person. He welcomed us. So you have an amazing team.
Yes.
So thank you, and may you continue, raising the Kenyan flag higher. We are proud of you. It's important for me to come here and show people that now you see why you had to share your story with us. Now you see why we did not cry. We'll share, because it's important for us to come out here and document inspirational stories so that anyone that is watching might just get motivated and say, if Mayor Kang'ethe is doing it, so can I. So congratulations on all your achievements. May God continue opening doors for you. Whatever it is that your heart desires in secret, may he fulfill it. Yes, may he fulfill it, and may his will in your life be done. Yes, shall we wind up?
Yes, thank you so much, Lynn.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, my people.
To have you too, in Backing and Dagenham.
Backing in Dagenham.
Yes.
Yes. So guys, I'm about to get me some water. Why out? I cannot keep up. I just hope really you guys, you've been inspired. I hope you guys, you've been inspired to follow your dreams, stay authentic, go after what you think you can't achieve, because look at that position, to be able to be called the first Kenyan mayor in London and the one and only, still hold that record. It's something else. So I just think for me, we have to be able to come out of that comfort zone, the way she said. But she's also said, you think, Maju, it's easy. It's not. You have to come and put in the work. You won't come here, there's no manna, money doesn't grow on trees. You have to come and work hard. You just have to decide, do you really want it? Like, honestly, do you really want it? And I hope you've been inspired. And you know how we do it. On the comment section, do tell me what your take home is. And I love that she has also spoken to us about giving love another chance. Usikae hapo, usifanye hii maisha peke yako. Get yourself a person that gets you and do life together. God has given us love and it's there for us to enjoy. So usikae peke yako. If mom can find love in her 50s, so can you. Na mtu asikuambie chochote, Yeah, and of course, guys, it's been amazing hanging out here, and I hope I continue bringing you inspirational content. And thank you to our partners at King's Developers Limited for coming through this episode. I would not be able to bring you these shows, guys, if I don't have people holding my hands, but I've always been categorical. I'll only bring you people who I believe in. You see what mom has said about due diligence? I make sure the people I even vouch for on this platform are not people who will go and con you years later. So do check out their affordable housing, and you can be able to get just any house that you want. If you are looking for affordable, guys, we've always talked about Boma. They have King Sapphire in Nakuru, and then middle hapo katikati they have Vintage, and if you want a 30 million unit, they also have Apollo. Na tuwashike mkono, they are ISO certified with their offices at Prism Towers, guys. Prism Tower. So you can also walk in and ask Kings, can I see what you are all about? We had Lynn talking about you, but can we actually see what you are all about? And there's an amazing team that will walk you through their housing, all the projects that they have, and you see what's suitable for you. And I don't get to do this alone, guys. Traveled with an amazing team. Thank you, Muga and Joshua. And of course, we have our strategist here with us, Liz. Asante sana for coming through. And to our editors back at Tom, Kelvin and Sam, for compiling this episode and making sure it reached you right on time. info@lnn.digital. That's where you can be able to find us. Continue trusting the process. Continue. Let's drive the process together. Yeah, when kipepeo, please come out of that stage. Yeah, see you next time, probably tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
It's been an honor. I can now comfortably say I shook the hand of hata Kenya sijawahi shake mkono ya governor, so sijashika hata ya MCA, so naweza sema nilishikia mkono huku London. So God akubless sana.
Bless you too.
Thank you.
Bless you too.
Yeah, shall we? Sarap. Mushakata.
So trust the process. One day your life is gonna change. Keep on believing. You will be better than before. So trust the process.